this part here, right? So now in this case, what I'm doing, I am using a dark brown pastel over a red layering, right? I use a red solid pastel color pencil over a red color pencil, and that will extend the tonal range a little bit, giving me more clearly the sense of shadow, for example, right? Or more sense of volume in general. It's really not like a track around technique, but it's very similar. The track around technique, you would use red, black, and white. In this case, I'm using each intermediate color, maybe before you get into the black, right? It extends the red, giving me a wider range of value, and therefore creating a more complete sense of three-dimensionality. Here like this is very dark, right? In here, this part here is getting so dark, then I could use the black here, right? I could use the black, right? This is lightly toned paper. So this paper is, I like this paper very much. This is a Stonehenge colors, right? And it's a little bit expensive, but it's let me see if I have a pad here, right? This is it, right? Stonehenge colors, Legion makes it, right? And it's a little bit expensive, but it comes in I think 15 sheets, 15 sheets, and it's really resistant and a very nice surface. I'm gonna show you other drawing I did on this paper later. I also like a lot the Hanemule, Angre, or the various Canson, Strathmore type of paper, Bristol, etc. But they all valid paper, depend what you need to do. Right? So see that, right? How we go with following the structure with thin lines, right? Why do I like this pen? There are plenty of excellent pencils that I also use, right? But for this, my particular, approach to drawing, right? I like this pencil because, again, they are hard and they last longer. There are another brand of pencils that are hard, right? And even harder than this one, and that would be the Prismacolor, the very thin, but very thin is nice. It's very thin, very hard, right? And you can achieve very sharp line, but it does not have the very thin does not have the same tinting power, the same color that this has, the Faber-Castell Polychromos. So I rather use this, sharpen it more often, but have a much greater chromatic effect with this pencil. The color is so much more powerful, and also I suspect lasting these colors here last longer. They don't fade as so quickly, so they are light fast more than very thin, probably because they contain more pigment, right, in the impact. So other brands that are very good that I use but are not so hard like this one is Caran d'As. Caran d'As, excellent material. You can use Caran d'As, but they are softer, right? They're a little bit softer. There is Holbein. Holbein came up with their own color pencil. I think this is it, right? Holbein. artist color pencil. They are also very good, but still the polychrome was a little bit harder, right? So really a question of what colors you want to, what's your technique, right? How you develop your own technique, and then you decide the material that is more, that gives you more the result that you want, right? So let's see. You can do this in here now. I think it's the same color, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna show you how to also do these, right? Vertical lines. So what we've seen before, the hatching, I call it tonal cross contour hatching, because tonal, so cross contour hatching, right? This is the form, right? This is the contour, right? And you go across the contour, across the form, right? Like this, right? Perpendicular, right? Then once you start doing cross contour hatching, you add a little bit more of lines, always trying to go across, right? Even if it's diagonally. But when you want to express a tonal range, then you do tonal, meaning you keep adding section like this until you get the value that you want. Makes sense? So this is more like what I call tonal cross contour hatching, because I can express an extensive tonal range with this approach like this, right? So this is connected with the form. It gives you about the information about how the form turns. Makes sense, right? And it's very. This is probably originated during the Italian Renaissance, when the artists were concerned with the volume and form and three-dimensionality and accurate depiction of the geometric, the anatomical volume of the body, right? But this method in here, as you can see, is which is more didactic, right, than anything else. But even if it's just didactically oriented, you can achieve very good artwork with this method here. What it does, it breaks down the tonal scale in values that are obtained by layering vertical lines, sorry, one over the previous layer. So value of the white value of 0, let's say, there's no line. Value of 1 is just one layer of line. Value 2, 2 layers of line. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that becomes easier to classify the value. Makes sense? So now I have here, let's say, for this I need a photograph, right? So I have the reference image. Okay, so here like this, right? So there. Now here I put a value here, light value here, right? Then I can start looking at this and say, okay, this could be this, right? Because it's not white, right? The white would be probably here, right? The highest highlight. That maybe is white. So I'm gonna leave it alone.